guys, I'm glad you're here. Thank you very much for joining me. Please like, share, and subscribe. And thank you to all of you that have already subscribed and joined our community. Yeah, the steam there at Old Faithful, a little dark. You can see here in the Firehole River. Really getting dark. Oh, they moved it. Darn it. Well, we'll check back in a minute. I've talked about the snow melt, how we got standing water, and the amount of snow that has melted from the ground because of the heat coming up from Yellowstone. USGS did report 11 earthquakes today within a 24-hour period. Any swarm, as they call it, of more than 10 earthquakes, yeah, they consider that a swarm. And there was 11. The largest being a 2.8, but it was not a 2.8. It was, in fact, a magnitude 3.29. Could have been a little bit larger. There was another earthquake right afterwards. I did not add that one in. And we'll go to the spectrogram. This is from Holmes Hill. This time I downloaded Holmes Hill. All the earthquakes that occurred afterwards, they have not reported. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But then there's some little ones. Let's see. This is the largest one. So far, they have not reported it. There's the seismic signature. This would have been at 8:22 local time. The other one was at 7:32. And that's AM. So this one comes in as a magnitude 1.76. And we'll go back to the seismic signature. 1.76. The next one that I picked out at 15:57 Universal Time, that one comes in as a magnitude 1.41. There is another one that's a little bit larger right there at 15:13. That one comes in as a magnitude 1.19. Let's go back up. Okay, so this one they did report, and this again is from Holmes Hill. Or is it this one they reported? Alright, that one I just did. That's the one they reported. And then we got another one, a little bit larger than some of these others. They are saying that one is a magnitude 1.8. The other one they're saying is a 0.6. Yeah, right. Let me see if I can, maybe I should, I don't know. We'll just do this one first. So it's not a 1.8, it's a 2.22. Then the other one, they are claiming that is a magnitude 0.6. Let's go to its seismic signature. But it's actually a magnitude 1.55. Yeah, they got that newbie working there at the University of Utah. Yeah. Alright, we got 10:46 Universal. That would have been, about 3:46 AM. That one comes in as a 1.89. They are saying it's a magnitude 1.6. 3.3 miles. But I got a 1.89. Alright, the next one marked in red would be this one right here at 10:35 Universal. They're saying that is a magnitude 1.3, 5.9 miles below sea level. But I get a 1.64. Alright, what else we got here? We got two more marked in red. Alright. So 6:17. They are saying that's a 0.9, 4.6 miles. Yeah, it's off over here a little bit. Let me bring this in and show you. But I get a magnitude 1.46. The next one at 16:16 Universal, they're saying is a 1.1, 3.5 miles. But I come up with a 1.66. Let me bring this down for you so you can see it. 1.66. And let's go to the seismic signature. There is a little one here marked in red. I didn't do that. I'm not going to bother with that one. This one here would have been yesterday. It's marked in red at 349 universal. They're saying that is a magnitude 1.2. I had to go to the last 7 days of earthquakes. Yeah, you can see them all. There's a lot of them. Let's see, how many they got? Let's see, 77 within 1 week. And this is a 1.2 they're claiming. But I come up with a 1.59. And I'll bring it down. All right. Oh, got to bring it a little bit farther. Down there at the bottom it says MD 1.59. So I got 4 different monitors today. Western Boundary I got to work. The borehole I got to work. Denny Creek and Holmes Hill. I could not get Maple Creek to work. And this is the borehole. This is a very deep well under the ground. So it will not pick up any outside noise. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 marked in red. And then we'll come up. There's, oh, did I come up too far? No. Okay, there's another one marked in red and another. And there's that other one that I just showed you that, yeah, they're saying it is a magnitude 1.2. All right, let's go down here because it's a borehole. It's about 650 feet under the ground where the monitors are at. And I wanted to look at what it was showing when I pulled the files. I pulled them a little while ago because, well, I got a phone call and so, yeah, everything was delayed in putting out these videos. Alright, this is the one they claim was a magnitude 2.8. And let's extract that and see what we got. Looks like sharpened points. Yeah, the ground is rising up, making the ground more brittle. And so different faults are opening up farther. Dike intrusion is occurring. I want to go to, hold on, Denny Creek, because this one has been showing low frequency earthquakes. Yeah, there's that 2.8. Yeah, low frequency earthquakes. Let's pull that. Harmonic tremors. These are harmonic tremors, and this has been going on for several days. Yeah, several days. We got one small one marked in red. Right, is it there? Or is it there? Right there. There is Holmes Hill. This is Hedgen Lake. Let's see, what's this monitor here? Maple Creek. And then I believe this here is, no, that's Denny Creek. Oh, excuse me. Denny Creek, right there. What do I got there? Holmes Hill. Okay, Holmes Hill and Denny Creek. Okay. And this one here is the Western Boundary. This one here, Denny Creek, has been showing the low frequency earthquakes. Yeah, dike intrusion is trying to happen. You can see here we got a creek, the outlet for Hedgen Lake. Yeah, and creeks often follow fault zones. This is not far from where all those buffalo were killed. I believe that was up over here in this stretch where the 13 buffalo were struck and killed and had to be euthanized. You can also see down here, this is the Madison River. And yeah, I've talked about this and talked about it. This is the area where all the earthquakes are occurring. Alright, let's go back up and see what else we got going on here. Okay, we had some, now this came from the north, this earthquake here. Let's extract that a little bit. Yeah, more harmonic tremors. I wanted to see if there was any chance of any screaming going on. but it's really hard to tell. That came from the south. Lots of little tiny stuff, very tiny. Let's go to the spectrogram and we can see what was going on. Yeah, see the line of melt. Remember, Yellowstone now has melted rock, pockets of melted rock, only about 600 feet under the ground, and between 10 and 15% melt, I think it is now. Okay, we got another little one there, and another little one there, and a little one there, and another little one. Let's take a look at this. Oh my goodness. Okay, 18:15 last night. They're not reporting anything during that time frame. That would have been at 11:15 p.m. Yeah, I don't think it was snowmobiles or traffic that late at night. Yeah, that's interesting. You can see how hot. Yeah, it was. It only brought up probably some hot water and some steam, it looks like. Let's go to the signature. That came from the north. Yeah, alright, let's go to this one. That one came from the south. Let's go back to the spectrogram. We got another interesting one right here. More heat. Okay, more heat. More small earthquakes. It doesn't want to show me the data. I hate it. I download the data and it doesn't show it. That one it does. And more heat. And this is what it was showing when I pulled the files. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I had to close the program and reopen it to get the western boundary to load. Okay, and this is what it was showing when I pulled the files. And let's go to the seismic signature and extract that. Volcanic tremors. Not good. Not good. Yeah. Okay. And this is that supposed 2.8. Yeah, see again, fault line popping. And we got this one. Oh, I have to make it bigger. Okay. Oop. On the wrong line. Right there. Yep, sharpen points again. Okay. Let's go down here. Let's make that harmonic tremors. Okay, maybe if I close it. Let's see. Oh, excuse me, volcanic tremors. Volcanic tremors, that's what we got here. Okay, on this one, we got lots marked in red. 616, did I do that one? I think so. Okay, let's go to the spectrogram, what it was showing there. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 lines of melt. And you can see here we got a thickening of the lines. Yeah, let's just jump around here and see what was going on. I wouldn't be surprised if the northwest, or the western boundary, excuse me, the western boundary was where it would start its eruption. Something I found that I thought was interesting. So I want to talk about the Huckleberry Ridge Tuff. That's down over here to the southwest side of Yellowstone Lake. This is Yellowstone Lake up over here. And Huckleberry Ridge Tuff is here. When this area of the volcano blew, it just wasn't, you know, in a matter of days, but it probably went on for years, decades. There were multiple pulses of this eruption. Evidence for this is the different facies of the Huckleberry Tuff. As different pulses occurred, different parts of the magma chamber were blown out, creating different formations. In two of the outcrops, Mount Everett and the Madison River Valley outcrops, the tuff appeared to be deposited through ash falls instead of ash flows. The Huckleberry Ridge tuff was produced during a caldera forming eruption thought to be one of the 5 largest individual volcanic eruptions known anywhere on Earth. A fall deposit ash took weeks to be erupted, then breaks in 2 weeks. 2 months occurred between members A and B, and years and decades between B and C. So, you think that, all right, Yellowstone will erupt, then we gotta wait for all the ash and all the gases to dissipate. Well, can you imagine it constantly erupting for decades? During their research, it says isotopic data is then added to define the 4 magnetic systems that were tapped simultaneously and or sequentially during the eruptions. System 1 and 2 fed the initial ash fall deposits and then vented through the member A, accompanied by trace amounts of mafic magma. In member A, a volumetrically dominant system is represented by rhyolite, and then they also talk about low silica rhyolite, and what else here? I recently talked about the mixing of magma, and here it talks about the underground mixing and reorganization during the A and B time break, accompanied by mafic magma inputs. The C time break, including rejuvenalization, recharging of the magnetic system. So evidently in between the different eruptions, it paused for a while, recharged, and then blew again. Suit C also shows clustered glass composition, suggesting that multiple melt dominant bodies were a repetitive feature on the HRT magnetic system. I'm sorry, I'm all tongue-tied today. Drawn out in red is the Huckleberry Ridge Tuff caldera boundaries. And can you see this all marked? I'm going to try and make it bigger. This thing was huge. It's all drawn out in red. Let me go up a little bit. What we have now is the current caldera, supposedly. And there we got Hedgen Lake. Notice how it goes all the way up here. And this was the area of the 4 different, magma chambers that all erupted. It says here, we infer that there to be a time gap between B and C eruptions of years to decades in length. This here is from the Smithsonian. Back in 2015, they discovered that the magma chamber is actually much larger than what they thought. There's another image of the plume that comes up. Why they didn't extend it out into Montana or Idaho, I don't know. But here's an animation of what they think it looks like. The 2 resurgent domes would be right here. They have to have a conduit further off towards Idaho that they have not recorded. So let's let this 3D animation move around and take a look at it. Well, that's all I have for you right now. Yeah, you can see the steam coming over here on the bottom right from Firehole River. Yeah, it's definitely recharging. Everyone needs to be prepared. Only God knows when it's going to go. They keep telling you, oh, it's not going to go. No need to go to the store and put up supplies and prepare for another ice age. That could, well, if it had multiple eruptions for decades, yeah, that's a long time for food not to be growing. So what are your thoughts? Put your comments down below. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. As always, keep prepping, and I'll talk to you later. God bless you. Bye.